Welcome to the European Parliament in Brussels on this very special day when members of this Parliament, members of national parliaments, EU officials have met for a prayer breakfast this morning, dedicating their times to praying together, to listening to speeches, and in particular the President of the European Parliament, Jerzy Buzek, speaking about the crisis as a crisis of values, urging the European leaders to come back to recognizing their Christian heritage, recognizing the need for sound values, for Christian values, in order to come through this financial crisis.
We know the financial crisis, and of course, it's a great problem. On the other hand, the journalist who emphasize and describe the crisis best, he will win. It's like this. We mustn't forget that without EU, we had been in a terrible situation. Thanks Lord, thanks God for EU. That's what I want to emphasize. And I mean, the problem is not only the economies. The problem is also that we have forgotten the values. What is true? What is acceptable? If we do not accept to tell the truth and live for the values and in the values we have got from Christianity, we'll have problems as a person, as a household, as a country, as a union.
Whereas Europe certainly is facing an unprecedented crisis, a financial crisis, Israel is facing an existential threat. We have, during these 2 days here, we have been speaking to a number of members of parliament, trying to discuss and see what the options are and how Iran can be prevented from acquiring nuclear capabilities.
Israel has taken the Iranian situation and the development of nuclear weapons and so on very seriously for some time, has warned the rest of the world and warned the EU in particular of the dangers coming from Iran. We now see a broader, more global understanding of what is actually happening. We have had the atomic investigators looking at the situation in Iran and coming to the same conclusion that what Iran is doing has the potential for a war, a potential for nuclear weapon development, which actually they have denied, but which is now very clear for all to see. We must now be vigilant. This coming year, we must be totally vigilant about Iran. Sanctions may work, they may not, but at the end of the day, we cannot allow or permit Iran to develop this rogue state situation and to threaten not only the Middle East peace process and Israel, but also the wider world. And that would be completely unacceptable.
Do you think that the European Union is doing enough to prevent it?
No, they're not taking it seriously enough. We feel it as a big threat. It's coming to us and it's coming to Israel. So we need to do everything possible to stop Iran from making this nuclear bomb. And I don't think that the European Parliament is doing enough. They do almost nothing, I feel. And I think that's a shame, and it's a really big danger for the future.
What do you think that we should do and that we could do?
Well, first of all, of course, we have to sanction the Iranian regime, and in a very harsh way. And even that is not done by today. So I feel that's step one. But of course, other steps are maybe necessary too. But the Iranian regime don't take us seriously because they think, well, the European Parliament, the Europeans is just soft. So I believe that we should take this threat very seriously and men should say that we are fully against nuclear weapons in the hands of Iran, of this dictator, and sanction Iran in the most harsh way possible.
Right now we see that the international community is opting for sanctions, which we believe is the right way right now to deal with the Iranian threat, with the threat of Iran going nuclear.
It seems to me that there are too many naive politicians in the European Parliament who really don't know what is the situation. And they think that, it's only the rhetoric what President Ahmadinejad and Iran regime say. And they really don't know what is the Islam faith, what is the Shia's religion, and so on. So I think that we have to do more, and we have a lot of ways to do something. But now, first of all, we have to find the common voice, and we have to condemn all those things what Iran do against the free world, against Israel and Europe and United States.
A nuclear Iran, which is also violating human rights and also denying the Holocaust, is a very, very dangerous combination. So therefore, the threat of a nuclear Iran is a threat for the entire world, for democracy in general.
We have to do everything we can to preserve these values which Europe is built on. And it also implies standing together with Israel, which is built on the same Judeo-Christian values, and facing the same enemies to open societies, to our democracies. Do you have a comment on the fact that Netherlands, the government of your country, is rather proactive in a European context? Why do you think that is?
Well, there are some parties, at least my party, and also some other parties who are really friends of Israel. And that's rather historically, I think. But if you look at it, at the situation there, Israel has a big struggle with almost all its neighbors. And we believe Israel must be defended. And the rest of Israel, especially Iran, wants to destroy Israel. And well, how can you think otherwise than helping Israel? They are our allies in this, and they should feel that we are their allies in this hard battle.
We are meeting with members, with EU officials, trying to sit down together, reason together, and look at the challenges which we are facing. And as a European Coalition for Israel, this is something that we will continue to do, and we hope to provide you with monthly reports also in 2012.